Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Szuma. I know we've been doing an online class, so it's kind of surprising to match the face to the name. For my presentation and paper, I did an overview of Coors Light and how they market themselves. From this point on, all you're going to do is hear me talking when you watch this presentation. I'm going to have the PowerPoint slides actually up. Alright, here's just my introduction slide, Coors Light Marketing Project, and like I said before, my name is Szuma. First, I wanted to quickly go over a little bit about the history of Coors Light. Coors Light was originated in 1978. It's known by a couple of other nicknames, like the Silver Bullet and the Rocky Mountain Refreshment. Coors was recently purchased by Miller, and they now have combined to make a big company called Miller Coors. The first part of the paper and presentation I want to talk about was the consumer. A recent study that I found on the internet done by InBev, who is the owner of Budweiser, did a little survey on the average consumer of beer. The ones that I have listed here are what were the majority when they did the certain demographics. As you can see, 30% of beer drinkers were in between the ages of 35 and 49, 70% or 71% were male, 33% was gray collar, and 41% made between $35,000 to $70,000 a year. Some other interesting things this survey found that I don't have up here is that a decent amount, and I think over 50% on any kind of store, because that's how they broke it up in the study, was that most beer drinkers actually have their beer picked before they enter the store, which I found very interesting and I think would be very helpful in a marketing plan, because to me, if you knew that, there's no point in going and advertising in the store as much, because it seems like most beer drinkers have their beer picked out before they get there. The next is product. I guess if you look at Coors Light as just a individual product of Miller's Coors, you could do that, but when I just looked at Coors Light individually, I assumed product as the ways they offer it. I have up there just the 12-pack cans or bottles, 24-pack cans or bottles, 40-ounce, 24-ounce can, the home draft, keg. Just about any way you can think of having a beer nowadays, they do it. And really just about every other major beer competitor does the same thing. So if you see it in one competitor, most likely the other competitor will eventually come out with it in that way. Next part of the paper in my presentation is price. Price really isn't a factor in beer, at least when you come to beers within the same category. Yeah, when you go with imported beer, they're obviously going to be higher than your low-end beer or even Coors Light. But when they're within the same category, examples inside Coors Light's category include like Bud Light, Miller Lite, Labatt Blue Light, or Labatt Blue, Budweiser. But anyways, usually when they're in the same area, price is not a factor, because beer tends to be a monolithic competition. And if you look in our book at monolithic competition, price usually is not a factor in that type of competition. And when they advertise, they usually tend to advertise about other things and other reasons to drink their beer or have their product other than price. The next thing is placement. Placement is huge in the beer business. There's three kinds of different types of placement, and I kind of know this from working at a beverage distributor for a couple of years. First is in and out stores, which is kind of like a convenience or liquor stores. Placement there is having your product at eye level in the coolers and near the handle. At chain stores, it's having it as close as possible at the start of the beer aisle. And then if these chain stores like Meijer or Walmart do have coolers, having the same kind of placement that you do in coolers. And lastly, at bars, really with bars, it's just getting your product in there, because bars have limited spaces when compared to liquor stores and chain stores, so just getting your product in there is huge. And then even bigger is actually getting it on tap, which means, like in a keg. The next part is promotion. Like a lot of other businesses, Coors Light, I think, uses integrated marketing communications, which is in our book. There is 5 part of an IMC, which is advertising, personal selling, sales, promotion, public relations, and direct marketing. Just real quickly, I think Coors Light does hit on every 5 points. I don't have that much time because it's supposed to be between 5 to 7 minutes to totally go over it. But basically, if you guys want a copy of my paper, there's an example of each one in there. The last part of my paper and presentation is the creative idea I had for Coors, and it's not really more for Coors, it's just for the beer industry or whoever wants to do this in the beer industry, and I think that's to advertise a beer towards women. Right now, the big thing out there, I think, is to advertise really low-calorie beers. I personally feel that at least everybody that I see drinking these low-calorie beers tend to be women, and at the same time, these low-calorie beers, when they advertise, kind of don't advertise towards women. They seem kind of gender neutral. I think they should just take the next step and just actually advertise it towards women, do commercials that it's a woman's beer, and yeah, obviously you're going to lose a 71% male drinking population, but at the same time you're going to capitalize and almost maybe totally own the 29% women beer drinking population. Alright, and that's it for my presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to put something on WebCT or email me at mzuma001@defiance.edu. And good luck to everybody in the next semester. And if you're not taking summer 2 classes, have a very good summer vacation. Bye.